Namaskar, this is Akhilesh Bhargava. Welcome to Tit-Bits on Business and Finance with me. Rana Kapoor, the founder of Yes Bank and its former CEO, is back in the news. He was arrested by the ED sometime in March 2020 on charges of fraud, on charges of money laundering, on charges of criminal conspiracy to cheat. And after these couple of months of investigation, the ED has finally filed a charge sheet against him and his family members in the appropriate court, alleging primarily that he has duped Yes Bank. He has defrauded Yes Bank to the tune of 5,050 crores. While the ED's matter has come to some kind of a milestone and the investigation or prosecution continues, parallelly, the CBI has already also been investigating Rana Kapoor, and that relates to a transaction wherein Yes Bank gave a couple of thousand crores for funding a property transaction wherein a gangster called Iqbal Milchi was involved. That was a case of participating in a crime. Thus, the CBI proceedings continue, the income tax investigation proceedings also continue. But in the meanwhile, the ED has filed its charge sheet. The primary allegation against him being that Yes Bank, under Rana Kapoor's guardianship, gave loans which were known to be substandard. He gave bogus loans and he received kickbacks against it. And this entire procedure, this entire scheme was by floating over 100 dummy companies, over 100 shell companies in India and abroad. The modus operandi was simple. It was like what Chanda Kochar did: give loans and take kickbacks against the loans given. Rana Kapoor took those in companies owned by his daughters, companies where his daughters and wife were involved, and the amount runs into over 5,000 crores. Ravneet Gill, his successor in Yes Bank, has told the ED that these kind of bogus or bad loan sanctioning was going on for years under the tenure of Rana Kapoor. They cite loans given to the Reliance Group of Anil Ambani, loans given to DHFL, loans given to the SL Group, loans given to Radius Builders, Omkar Builders and many others to be of this kind of genre, where very clearly the ED thinks that some kind of a kickback, some kind of a benefit, some kind of a bribe was taken back by Rana Kapoor and his family in consideration of giving these kind of substandard loans. The entire family was involved. This is 2020. It is a time when all the beans have been spilled out and we know what a rot it was in Yes Bank. But if we go back to 2017 or 2018, it would be difficult to believe that this was the state of affairs of Yes Bank. If you examine the annual report of Yes Bank for the financial year 17-18, you will see it's an extremely glossy and impressive report. Great writing, great copywriting, great dialogues written in it. In 2018, Yes Bank had total assets of 3,15,000 crores and public deposits of over 2 lakh crores. If you see the first page of that report, there's a section on awards. Yes Bank that year had been given many awards, some of which were, it was awarded an award by Asia Money to be the best bank for SMEs in India. Asia Money also gave it an award to be the best bank in India. It also got an award to be the best trade finance bank in India. And it was ranked 271 among the top 1,000 banks in India. And it was the fourth largest private sector bank in India. It was a well awarded and decorated bank if you go by the annual report. Yes Bank also had an impressive board of directors. It was headed by Ashok Chawla, an independent director, part-time chairman as they called him. And Ashok Chawla happens to be a former Finance Secretary of India, a top-ranking bureaucrat who today is completely under the cloud. Thus, it had an impressive board of directors. Its director profile ran in about 10 printed pages in fine print. They were so well qualified. They were so well apparently suited for the job, going by their qualifications and track record. That was the kind of decoration or trophies that he had on the board of directors. And if you go further in the report, there are a lot of statements which sound impressive. The bank had an internal financial control system which is described in very impressive terms. It had a vision mechanism and it had a risk governance strategy permeating the bank. Further, the bank had 12 committees of the board of directors for managing the bank. And again, it's a fairly impressive list. Among the 12 committees of the board of directors were a risk monitoring committee, a fraud committee, a fraud monitoring committee rather of the board of directors, a board committee for credit management and credit sanction, a board committee on willful defaulters and non-cooperative borrowers, a management credit committee, an executive credit committee, and a committee of the independent directors. If you actually look at this structure, you would be actually surprised how did these kind of large, bogus, bad, substandard loans get sanctioned by Rana Kapoor when this was the multi-layered and extensive system of management. These were the number of committees of the board which were overseeing all that was being done in the bank, particularly in a matter of sanction of loans, which incidentally were bogus on a large scale. Further, if you look at the annual report for 2018, you will see that the bank was given a very clean report by all those who are actually meant to look into the truth of what was going on. The bank had a very clean secretarial audit report given by an outside firm of company secretaries. This report is given in respect of compliance with all corporate and capital markets laws. It was a clean and absolutely non-qualified report. They also had a very clean corporate governance certificate, again given by an independent firm of company secretaries. Of course, the statutory auditor's report given by KPMG was completely clean. And there was a report on compliance with the Code of Conduct and Ethics, which was signed by Rana Kapoor himself, a person whose own conduct has been completely unethical, unscrupulous, and did not follow any of the rules of the game. This was a clean annual report, and because of all this, Yes Bank was given a rating of AA plus, and this was because of all the external agencies which were required to keep a check on what was happening in the bank. They all connived according to us. With this kind of a AA plus credit rating, Yes Bank in that year managed to raise loans of a big size. It managed to raise loans of $600 million abroad by way of bonds which are listed on the London, Singapore and other stock exchanges. It raised another $150 million from an agency called OPIC, which is a US government agency. And in various other manners, riding this AA plus rating, Rana Kapoor and his team, according to us, duped those lenders and borrowed monies on a large scale. So this was 2018 annual report. It is in 2020 that we know how bad, how rotten the state of affairs were. But if you look at the annual report of 2018, you wouldn't think that this is what the reality was. The moot question always remains. Whenever we talk about these kind of big institutions which explodes, the likes of ILFS, etc., the question remains is, how did it happen? The answer is very obvious. For years together, everybody connived. All those who were meant to keep a check on the board of directors, right from the independent directors, the statutory auditors, the company secretaries, the regulators, etc., in whatever manner, directly or indirectly, including the top executives of the bank, they all were mute spectators to what was going on. So the answer is most obvious. This system connived. All remained silent. All succumbed to some kind of inducement, whether direct or indirect. All were negligent. And according to us, all must be punished. The reality is that while the government at the moment has stepped in and has saved the deposits of the public, which were over 2 lakh crores, on the other hand, the government has not protected the investment of all those hapless, unsuspecting shareholders who looked at these kind of glossy reports and invested money in the bank and bought shares of the bank from the stock markets. The fact is, all these who connived, they were men of eminence and they deserve a suitable punishment. Rana Kapoor, according to us, should not be the only one punished for this dirty game which continued for years together, or rather, a fraudulent game. This is Akhilesh Bhargava signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
हमारे घरों में भी बच्चे होते हैं जो हमसे प्यार दुलार की आस करते हैं।
हमारा भी जीवन साथी है जिसको हमारे ड्यूटी से घर आने का इंतजार होता है।
हमारे घर में भी एक बूढ़ी माँ है जिनके लिए आज भी हम ही आंखों के तारे हैं।
लेकिन हम हमारे घरों में नहीं है। आपकी सुरक्षा में कोई कसर न रहे, इसलिए हम अपने प्रियजनों से दूर है।
हम में से ही कुछ तो अब इतने दूर जा चुके हैं कि वो वापस अपने घरों को लौट भी नहीं पाएंगे।
हमें गर्व है कि हमारे कंधों पे मुंबई शहर के नागरिकों की सुरक्षा की जिम्मेदारी है। हमारे जज्बे और बलिदान को व्यर्थ न जाने दे। इस संकट के समय में आप घर पे रहे, सुरक्षित रहे।
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.
If you like this video, please share it, and we would love to hear your comments in the comments section down here. Also, please do like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter to get minute-to-minute news updates. For more such shows and videos, well, subscribe to our YouTube channel.